What's up, Bolt fans? Haley Elwood here, and if you're feeling like you're not quite ready for Chargers game day, well, buckle up, because you came to the right place. Over the next 30 minutes, we're bringing you exclusive interviews, analysis, player features, and access you can't get anywhere else.
How you do it matters.
Well, we've arrived, so let's get you caught up. This is Chargers HQ, powered by Toyota. We have hit week 9, which is essentially halfway through the 2021 season, and the Los Angeles Chargers will travel east to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. But before we get into that matchup, let's learn a little bit more about a couple guys on this team. Quarterback Justin Herbert and fullback Gabe Nabers sat down with QB Chase Daniel to discuss their love of brisket, what it was like being roommates, and more in this week's Takeout, powered by the Southern California BMW Centers.
Who is this?
Mario Lopez, I know that.
It was a show in
my.
the 90s.
Oh God.
Zach Morris, ring any bells?
Ring any bells? What's that mean?
That was a subtle hint. What is up, Bolt fam? My name's Chase Daniel, the host of Takeout, presented by the Southern California BMW Centers. And today, I'm telling you what, we got a good one. We got the Brisket Boys joining us. Today's featured car, the new BMW M440i X-Drive. Go test one out for yourself today at the Southern California BMW Centers. Let's get it going. I like the BMW cue cards. It's pretty sweet.
Do we need to clap?
Are we rolling? Go ahead and roll it.
I go ahead and roll it.
Are we rolling?
Now go ahead and roll it.
We are rolling.
All right, no, go ahead and roll now it. go ahead and roll it.
All right, guys. So tell me a little bit about the food that you picked, the name of the restaurant, and why you picked it.
Well, we went with Nate's Corner, a local classic, one of our favorites. We've been going there ever since we got here and never disappoints.
I've never had it, but it sounds good. I've heard you talk about it. What'd you guys go with? Let's just go ahead and just open them up. Oh, nothing for me. Just you. What'd you guys go with? Let's unwrap it.
Well, I went with a Reuben.
Oh, you can't go wrong with a Reuben.
I went with 3 meat, 3 egg.
Yours is huge. Oh my gosh, you got a little tapatio on the side there. The Reuben's a classic though. Can't go wrong with it. Little Thousand Island dressing. That's awesome.
Give it one of those. Look at this beast.
So you guys are my first guests on this show. Thank you guys for taking your time out of your, really incredibly busy schedule. Tuesday's the day off. I know we've been grinding. Gabe, you've been just waiting for this show. So let's just go ahead and just start with the brisket a little bit. I know you guys have all been interviewed about it, but we're gonna go a little bit of a different way. Brisket's very important to this team's DNA. Can you tell us a little bit about the credit that's been given to the brisket for the success and sort of how it started and how it went from there? Whose idea it was is what I want to hear.
There's just so many words.
I'll try and answer it the best you can.
I think it all started with Justin and Traeger. When he first got it, he got a really big shipment of all these different types of meat, and brisket was one of them. Fast forward after he got really good at cooking, and then I think just after one of the wins, it was just like, this isn't any brisket, it's a victory brisket. And so that's where it went from there, and it just kind of like took off.
Why brisket though, Justin? Like, why not ribs or steaks? Because I've had one of your Traeger steaks before, and I will say it's delicious.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. But why the brisket? It is a little bit harder to cook, right? So it's more of a challenge.
At the time, Gabe and I we were all living together, and we looked in the freezer and there was a brisket, and it just kind of happened, and we gave the name to it, and it really did kind of start out as a joke a little bit. We weren't really trying to be serious about it, but it kind of developed, and people started coming over and eating it, and it was funny.
Yeah, I think if anyone knows you, and if you don't, like, Justin's super competitive. I've been in on Tuesday mornings in here, and he's like really pissed off about how his brisket tastes. They did, I know you guys did brisket tacos, but I think you're perfecting it, right? It's coming along.
It's a work in progress. Yeah, we've had some good ones and some bad ones, but
we don't want to divulge the technique that he uses, but we'll just leave it there. So last question on the brisket, promise. What's next for you guys in the brisket? Should we expect merchandise? Maybe a TV show led by me? I mean, these tuxedo shirts are excellent. I don't know if that would make it, but what's next for the brisket? Just keep rolling?
I have no idea. We've created a monster. Spices?
yeah, I don't know. We've kind of started switching up a little bit, but I guess that's one of those things that we have to figure out because we got to deliver. I mean, we've backed it up, we've hyped it up.
And the people love it.
The people love it, and I feel like somebody could make a killing off of Brisket Boys t-shirts. All right, so moving on. So you already mentioned it. You guys used to be roommates. So I have to ask Gabe, you first. What was that like? And then describe a perfect night in the Herbert and Nabers
And Gillum.
Household.
It was kind of like being in college, actually. It was like kind of nice being a rookie and then transitioning over to the NFL, like still having guys to hang out with when you're away from the facility, away from the game, kind of helps get your mind off of it. And I think the most important thing was just be able to lock in when it's game time and then get away from the game when it's time for that too. It was a big deal. And then honestly don't remember the second thing you asked me.
What's it like? What's it like on a perfect night in the household that you guys lived in?
We're cooking like a 3-course meal and then like smooth, or what was it, ice cream night?
Oh, yeah.
We'd have ice cream night.
Ooh, ice cream night. Tell me about ice cream night.
Gabe's honestly the better cook.
Okay. What do you
I'm a sous chef.
He can do it all. It starts with breakfast burritos and it ends with like Chinese food, and he's been able to handle it all. And
Wow, Chinese food.
we have yet to come across
A
the
restaurant
food that Gabe-
coming.
Yeah.
Well, tell me more about this ice cream night, because I'm a big ice cream connoisseur.
Just throw like the most random things in a blender.
Yeah, whatever we had in the.
So it was mostly shakes.
It was basically, yeah, it was always
Yeah.
milkshakes, and we'd find Oreos,
Oh.
cookies, like whatever
Kit Kats,
we could.
Twix,
Yeah.
whatever.
That's amazing. What was it like living with this guy?
Gabe was a great roommate. He was very clean, very neat.
Oh, that's the number one thing for me for a roommate, cleanliness.
I like things a certain way.
Cleanliness, but
And
Yeah.
Gabe was always a great job picking up after himself, always taking out the trash and doing things that I didn't have to ask him to. So
I love that. All right, so Gabe, if you could change one thing about Justin, what would it be? One thing. Don't hold back. One thing.
I don't know.
it's okay.
Am I
Like,
crossing any boundaries here?
I can handle it.
I have no idea.
Justin, what
The
about
kid
you?
is too good at everything.
Oh, okay.
Ping pong, golf.
He is really good at ping pong.
I mean, the only thing that to this date I'm better than him at is Rock Band,
Call of Duty.
Guitar Hero, Call of Duty, video
of
games.
Duty.
Some video games, not
Yeah.
Madden or anything like that.
Blocking.
Okay.
Blocking.
Route running.
All right, what about you, Justin? What would be one thing if you could change about Gabe? What would you do?
It's a good question.
It's a hard one.
I wouldn't, personally, I really wouldn't change anything about you. I think there are always things we could work on, you know?
I love it. What, and that would be?
I think when we're golfing in nice settings,
Oh gosh.
we have to be more careful about where we hit the ball.
Oh, is it how he dresses or how he plays?
No, he's always the sharpest
Okay.
dressed man on the course
serious?
It's a question.
at any time. No, but my favorite story is we're golfing at this one course and there was a road on the left. It was a busy street. And Gabe, you've become a much better golfer. Like Gabe put one really far left.
Yeah.
The entire time I was just thinking, oh gosh, someone's gonna get hit in the head, a car's gonna break.
Somebody's
like,
done
the
for.
window's done. Luckily, it took like 5 bounces and ended up in a parking lot.
We're gonna switch gears. All right, we know you guys are movie buffs, especially you. You're a big movie guy. We're gonna get to that later. But favorite movie for you, Gabe?
Inception, every day of the week.
What's so funny about that? What about favorite actor?
Tom Hardy is up there.
Okay. What about you? Favorite movie?
Interstellar,
Oh, that's a good one.
but I think my favorite actor would Christian Bale. Big Batman,
okay.
Batman.
The Prestige,
Directors? Anyone got favorite directors?
Christopher Nolan.
Yep.
Oh, the Batman's
Solid.
great. That's awesome. All right, so rank these. This is awesome. You guys can work together on this. Rank these 5 comedies from best to worst. Okay, Wedding Crashers, Old School, Step Brothers, 40-Year-Old Virgin, and Superbad.
I'm gonna do my best to
Best
remember
to
all
worst.
5.
So it's Wedding Crashers, Old School, Step Brothers, 40-Year-Old Virgin, and Superbad.
I've probably seen Step Brothers.
400 times, yeah.
Yeah, that's gotta be number 1.
That's like easily one of the most quotable movies of all
Yes.
time.
I think
No doubt.
Superbad's really funny.
Okay.
Superbad 2. We got Step Brothers 1. So we have Wedding Crashers, Old School, 40-Year-Old Virgin.
I think Wedding Crashers takes a certain kind of,
I like Wedding Crashers.
there's a lot of like sarcasm.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Wedding Crashers 3. Okay, we got Step Brothers, Superbad, Wedding Crashers. Now Old School. Yeah, I'd say Old School,
Yeah.
and then 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, since you all like movies, we got a game. First game. Name that movie quote. Justin's probably gonna be pretty good at this. All right. You shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Oh gosh, I say this all the time, but I don't. Shut your mouth when you're talking.
to me.
Oh my gosh.
Next one.
No,
Well, if
no.
you need a hint, it was in the 5 we just said.
Oh,
Oh, you shut your mouth when you're talking to me. Step Brothers.
Nope.
Wedding Crashers.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding. All right.
Good effort. Loser.
Do not go gently into that good night.
The Gray.
Do not go gently into that good night. You know? Interstellar.
What about you? Favorite movie? Interstellar.
That's not good.
You don't even know your own favorite movie?
This is,
That's weird.
I don't remember that one. All right, this one's easy. You had me at hello.
I feel like
Football movie.
I feel like you're throwing this off.
You had me at hello.
Yeah, maybe the way he's saying them.
Like,
Maybe that's my plan. Football movie. Think Arizona Cardinals.
The game plan.
Think about Tom Cruise.
The Rock.
Tom Cruise.
Uh,
Jerry Maguire.
Mission Impossible.
Good.
Sports movie Arizona Cardinals.
Yep.
Okay, and I will have my vengeance in this life or next. This is a great movie.
Harry Potter.
No?
Sorcerer's Stone.
Sorcerer's Stone. And I will have my vengeance in this life or next.
Austin Powers.
Gladiator. All right, you guys were about 40% on those. All right, so this is the last game. We'll let you guys get out of here. You guys have, well, you got some work to do on your food, but game 2. Are you a Zoomer? Okay, I'm gonna show you some pictures. Okay, you guys tell me who it is or what it is. You guys ready for it?
Yeah, the instructions are a little
What's
unclear,
the
but
point of Zoom?
Are you a Zoomer? Meaning, who is this? What is
Mario
that?
Lopez, I know that.
Yes,
Okay.
it was a show
Oh,
in
my.
the 90s. Tiffany Amber Thiessen, I believe, is in there as well. Yep.
Oh God.
Zach Morris. Ring any bells?
Ring any bells?
What's that mean?
Is that?
That was a subtle hint.
Saved by the Bell?
There we go.
Good job.
Nice.
It's
All right,
more
this-
your era, but
Yeah, it means I'm older than you guys, and you guys are young, and these are sort of my,
Zoomer.
yeah.
Slinky.
That's easy. That was way too easy.
Next. Walkman.
Did you know that?
Walk and talk.
Okay, this is funny.
Not everybody had iPods. Pop it.
Dude,
Twist
Gabe
it.
is killing this.
Pull it.
Did you know?
Yeah, but that's like a.
That's like the platinum level.
Pop it.
Yeah, it's an
twist it,
upgraded
turn
version.
it.
Spin it. I don't know when they add that.
Last one. Do you know it? What do you think?
Do you know what that is?
No, I mean,
That's what's it called?
What's it called?
That's it's like on the same level as a
Nintendo
like
DS.
a pager type deal.
Yeah.
It's a
Yep.
all pencil. I mean, it's obsolete technology.
Starts with a PP.
It's a
What?
starts with a what?
PMP. It's 2 words.
Okay, okay.
PMP.
Portable.
Palm Pilot.
Palm Pilot.
All right, you guys are pretty
Palm
good.
Pilot.
Appreciate you guys being on here. You finished all your food. That's awesome. See you next time.
Coming up, we go in the film room to talk Chargers Eagles with Daniel Jeremiah, and later, we find out the story of the Chargers' newest hometown hero. This segment of Chargers HQ was powered by Toyota. Welcome back to Chargers HQ, powered by Toyota. One of the things Chargers head coach Brandon Staley liked in the team's Week 8 game against the New England Patriots was the Bolts' rush defense. But this week, that unit will be tested against Philadelphia's ground game, which put up 236 yards and 4 scores against the Detroit Lions. Here's Daniel Jeremiah and Chris Hayre breaking down this matchup in this week's Film Room.
What's up, guys? Welcome into a Week 9 edition of Film Room here with Daniel Jeremiah. DJ, the Chargers' 3rd trip to the East Coast in the first 9 weeks of the season. And I tell you, if last Sunday in Detroit is any indication as to how the Eagles are going to play, running the football going to be a big discussion on Sunday.
Yeah, I guess they don't necessarily all have buckles on helmets anymore. You know, you say you buckle your chin strap type game. Now you just got to tighten it up a little bit, I think, with the way they have these things set up. But yeah, you are going to see the Philadelphia Eagles with a very good offensive line and an athletic quarterback. They're going to try and do the exact same thing, in my opinion, which is going to come out and try and run the ball down the Chargers' throats. They've had their issues defending the run throughout the year. Last week, I thought it was a little bit better against New England, but still New England was able to eat up a huge chunk of clock running the football. And this run game that the Eagles throw at you, Chris, is very varied, and I think it's a difficult one to deal with.
236 yards they ran for against the Lions. Let's take a look at some of these plays.
Yeah, and I think that 9 explosives in that. So they're getting big chunks, and it's a variety of ways. I want to show you this first play here, and I want you to look center, left guard, left tackle. I want you to keep an eye, first of all, on the center and Jason Kelsey. I was there working in their personnel department when we drafted him. And even as he's been in the league this long, he's still so quick and so athletic. Watch this reach block he's able to get here. That is fantastic. When you can get that seal right there, now you've made life really easy on your running back. That's the most difficult block. Now you've got a body for body up here on the left. Jordan Mailata, who is a mountain of a man who they just paid recently, is playing really well when he's back in the lineup healthy. They've got Lane Johnson on the backside, who's pretty good cutting things off. But look at this crease that you end up creating here. It's a nice bounce here by Boston Scott. Now he's out in the open field, and man, you've got a huge chunk play. But in my opinion, that's not made by the running back. That's made particularly by the center and Jason Kelsey.
All right, DJ, let's flip it to the Bolts. They get Justin Jones back last Sunday, a big boost to the run D.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at what they did against the Patriots, it's a little bit better than what we saw previously, and I think Justin's a big part of that. Really, Justin Jones, to me, and Derwin James are two difference makers that you have against the run. I'll show you a couple plays here. You see Justin Jones, he's on the right defensive tackle right here. They're going to run a little game, a little twist inside. You can run this. People think about running twists and passing downs. You can run them on run downs as well. He does a nice job. Just be violent and be aggressive. Watch him just attack the center. He wins with leverage. He ends up splitting the double, completely frees up Linval, where Linval ends up unblocked right here. Justin ends up making the tackle. That's playing physical. That's playing aggressive, and that's generating some knockback, which you got to have when you're going to play the run.
No question. All right, what's next here?
All right, we get to this next one. I mentioned that Derwin James is a difference maker. Watch Derwin when he's within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. I love what he brings to the table. You see him here. He's just like a hunter right here, stalking his prey, just waiting to see how this thing is going to develop and finding a hole and shooting a gap. Defense does a nice job. You see everybody using their hands. See these three linemen with their hands on the ground. Look at them all shoot their hands, pressing off blocks. You've got Big Linval taking on a double team. That means that Derwin James is free. And once he's free, look at how fast he hits this. It ends up getting a tackle for loss. This was a huge play here, working against the New England Patriots. Just phenomenal from Derwin.
Better from the Chargers run D on Sunday. The Pats only averaged 3.6 on the ground, but the Patriots ran the ball 39 times. And you look at time of possession in some of these games, it's very lopsided. I imagine stopping the run and time of possession goes hand in hand. You don't want your defense out there for too long.
Yeah, and that's where I think it can be misleading. You know, you can celebrate the under 4 yards carry. That's great, but you also got to get off the field. And it's also incumbent on the Chargers offense to maintain drives. So when you do have these longer drives that result in no points or 3 points for the opponent, you can give your defense a little bit of a rest. It's team football. The Chargers got to get back to that this week against the Philadelphia Eagles.
When we return on Chargers HQ, we see how a local man made a life-saving difference in his community. Welcome back to Chargers HQ, powered by Toyota. The Chargers recently honored a local man who stepped in and helped save the life of a passenger on his flight who was having a heart attack. This is Tony Aldapa's story in Hometown Hero, presented by Grant Thornton.
I'm Tony Aldapa, and I work at the VA hospital in Los Angeles as an intermediate care technician.
A heart attack on a plane during a pandemic. Passengers jumped in to help, despite concerns that the man they were trying to keep alive might well have COVID-19.
It was, I want to say 20, 30 minutes into the flight, and I looked back, there were some people pulling a passenger out of his seat and into the aisle.
The flight was en route to Los Angeles last week when the man became unresponsive, and several people began chest compressions to try and save him.
We continued CPR for about an hour, and then landed in New Orleans. And at that point, that's when the fire department came on and kind of took over from there. I'm glad I was able to use the training I have to try to help somebody. Just want to take a minute to thank the Los Angeles Chargers, and also to thank Grant Thornton. Appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate the award. Thank you.
That'll do it for this week's Chargers HQ, powered by Toyota. We'll be back next week with more Chargers content ahead of the Week 10 game against the Minnesota Vikings. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Haley Elwood. Good night.